Dragons. Whether they're breathing fire, ice, acid, or just flying around wreaking havoc, every good story has one. There's always a dragon waiting at the end of the adventure. And they're usually always the most powerful beings in the universe. So today, we're going to take a look at a few dragons from across a whole bunch of different universes, ranking them all from weakest to strongest. So let's get to it. What's up guys, I'm Daniel and this is Ankon. We do fight breakdowns every week, plus the occasional power ranking video like this one or things like that. So if that seems interesting to you, we'll sit back and enjoy the video. Hit that like button. And if you want to, we'll hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Now let's get to it. The Hungarian Horntail from Harry Potter is a massive black dragon from Hungary, considered by many to be one of the most dangerous dragons in the world, if not the most dangerous. It's massive in size. It's got flames that can reach up to 50 feet and quickly melt stones, and like its name suggests, has razor-sharp spikes coming out of its tail. And the Horntail has no problem using these in combat. It's one of the most aggressive and vicious breeds of dragon out there. That's saying something. All dragons are known to be extremely fierce and aggressive. In The Hobbit, we meet Smow, a fire drake from the north who set upon the lonely mountain, slaying all the dwarves inside, taking on the entire army of Erebor, and taking all the gold for himself. He's known as the last of the great dragons in Middle-earth, and was an enormous and extremely powerful dragon. But even within Middle-earth lore, Smaug is still weak and small compared to most of the dragons in the past. I mean, he was killed by one good arrow in just the right spot. I think that says it all right there. Valaran, otherwise known as the Black Dread, is the largest and most powerful dragon in Game of Thrones. The mightiest of the Targaryen dragons, Aegon the Conqueror rode on Valaran as he conquered the kingdoms of Westeros. Valaran was large enough that whole towns would be covered in his shadow whenever he flew. His teeth were as large as swords, and he could fit a whole elephant in his mouth and swallow it whole. Actually, what probably shows Valaran's strength and power better than anything is that while he fought in countless battles and defeated plenty of dragons, Valaran died of old age. Nothing was strong enough to take him except age. In How to Train Your Dragon, the Night Fury was once considered to be one of the most mysterious and fearsome species of dragons. In fact, until Hiccup befriended Toothless, no one even knew if a Night Fury actually existed. But Toothless was quickly able to show that he was in fact real and really powerful. He was known as the unholy offspring of lightning and death itself, and has routinely proven himself to be the alpha of all alpha dragons, squaring off against plenty of mighty dragons and always beating them. Koric is a mighty elder crystal dragon from the Guild Wars. He's an elder dragon. It's almost like a primal force of nature, as he wakes up every 10,000 years in order to consume all the magic in the world, before going back into hibernation. He's 1,000 feet tall, massive enough to blot out the sun itself, and while in hibernation, the dragon is actually commonly mistaken to be a small mountain. As an elder dragon, Koric is tied in with the element of crystal. It's able to become a hurricane or a sandstorm, and the dragon's breath is incredibly dangerous. It has the power to corrupt anything and transform it into a crystal shadow. From the world of Dark Souls, Seath the Scaleless is a scaleless dragon, and because of that, he doesn't have the same kind of immortality that other dragons with scales enjoy. But don't worry, Seath came up with his own form of immortality, as he became undead through his research with the primordial crystal. However, it had some repercussions. Seath was driven insane and now conducts awful, evil experiments in his caves. He now searches the land for undead beings to experiment on, and has become a powerful sorcerer. In fact, he's actually the one responsible for the creation of all sorcery in the world of Dark Souls. In the world of Skyrim, Alduin the World Eater is the god of destruction, the firstborn of the dragon god of time, and the main villain in the game. Alduin was originally defeated by a special dragon shout in an Elder Scroll in order to send him far into the future. But now the dragon is trying its best to revive dead dragons and restore the dragon's rule. The mighty dragon is able to devour souls from the afterlife, which is partly how he gets his incredible power. It's actually straight up invincible until the very last fight of the game. Plus, unlike other dragons, Alduin's soul can't be absorbed by the Dragonborn. That's because Alduin can't truly be defeated. He's immortal, never ending, and it's his destiny to come back one day and truly live up to its namesake as the World Eater. Fang Fang is an alien dragon in Marvel and is incredibly powerful, one of the strongest beings on Earth, and actually strong enough to rip tectonic plates apart. He's also powerful enough to fight against the Hulk, Thor, and all the Avengers at once. He's also just as tough. Most heroes aren't able to injure him, and he can easily take attacks from the likes of Hulk or Magod and not go down. He's a powerful dragon, a tough dragon, fast enough to travel across galaxies in just moments. Fang Fang is secretly one of the best threats on Earth. In The Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion, the ancient and powerful Ankon the Black was bred by the first Dark Lord, Morgoth, during the First Age. He's the greatest of all the dragons ever created, and is easily the biggest dragon in Middle-earth. He's as big as a mountain. Ankon could breathe fire hotter than any dragon in existence, heat hot enough to melt rings of power. During the War of the Wrath, Arendelle and the Eagles of Manwë fought Ankon in the sky. When he was finally killed, as he fell, he shattered an entire mountain range, officially ending the war against Morgoth. In the world of Dungeons and Dragons, you would think there would be some pretty powerful dragons, and you'd be right. Chief among them is Bahamut, a powerful dragon god and the king of the good dragons. He's essential to the godly pantheon in Dungeons and Dragons, as the Dragonborn worship him as their creator. Kings are crowned in his name, and he receives constant prayers for protection and strength. He's also extremely powerful. He can breathe ice, can turn any object into gas, or use his disintegration breath to simply destroy everything around him. And as Bahamut is the god of wisdom, justice, protection, and all things good, his sister is the queen of the evil dragons, and he's locked in a constant battle with her for all time. King Gadora, the massive alien three-headed dragon from the Godzilla universe, has fought against Godzilla, the king of all the monsters, countless different times, and has come out on top more than once. Before coming to Earth, King Gadora destroyed all life on plenty of different planets, and now he has his sight set on our world, with only Godzilla standing in his way. But what's unique about Gadora is that there are different versions of him. The anime King Gadora is almost like an eldritch horror. He's a dragon god from another plane of existence altogether, so nothing in our reality can actually hurt him, but he can hurt us all the same. His mere presence is enough to warp space-time. He can consume entire planets, and like that, King Gadora is easily one of the most powerful dragons out there. In World of Warcraft, Deathwing the Destroyer is easily one of the most powerful dragons to have ever existed. With 858 million HP, it actually is the most powerful character. When Deathwing was born out of the world, he actually reshaped and ripped apart the world itself, sending out massive earthquakes and floods and volcanic eruptions. And once he had awoken, well, he was basically unstoppable. He was going to destroy everything. No force in the world could stop him. The only way you could actually beat him was by going back in time and stopping him from becoming so powerful in the first place. Bolas, or the Forever Serpent, is one of the main villains within the lore of Magic the Gathering. He is immortal, like his name suggests, but not just that, he's also one of the oldest beings in all of existence, as he's been around for over 25,000 years. He's one of the most powerful beings in all of the multiverse, able to fight against a demon for an entire month straight, and in the process, destroyed 2/3 of the Empire Madara. On top of that, tore open a temporal rift in space-time. And during the Dragon War, Bolas showed himself as the most powerful of all the Elder Dragons to survive. He's also the master of 3 out of the 5 colors of magic. With all this power, the dragon is able to defeat almost anyone in the Magic the Gathering universe, making him one of the most powerful dragons ever. In the Elder Scrolls series, Akatosh reigns supreme, the chief deity and king of the gods, the dragon god of time and the first god to ever exist. He's the father of all the dragons, including Alduin, who's already made this list as the World Eater, and is both immortal and invincible. He's the chief god in Elder Scrolls, and a dragon in charge of managing the flow of time itself. In the Diablo universe, Tathamet was formed when Anu, the first being to ever exist, attempted to achieve a pure state, and so he tried to cast out all the evil from his body. Well, that sum of all that evil then transformed into a massive 7-headed dragon called Tathamet, and the dragon and Anu would then battle for eons against each other. And as the battle went on for what felt like all time itself, it finally ended as both of them killed each other, and in turn created the universe. But as if that wasn't enough, as Tathamet fell down into the darkest corners of reality, hell itself grew up out of his body, and his 7 heads became the great evil. So we're talking about a dragon who's the literal manifestation of evil itself, and whose body became hell. Pretty powerful. Magladroth, also known as the Void Dragon, is the most powerful of all the star gods within the Warhammer 40k universe. As the most powerful of the gods, the Void Dragon is a force of oblivion, weighted destruction, and devastation. It's also believed the Dragon of Mars, which the Emperor of Mankind faced in battle and imprisoned, is actually just simply a shard of the Void Dragon. And even though it was just a little shard of the dragon, it was still able to threaten whole solar systems, undo the laws of the universe, and consume dozens of worlds. What's even scarier is that Magladroth may still be out there sleeping in the cosmos, ready to one day wake up again. In Dragon Ball, Shenron is a dragon god and will grant wishes after you summon him. Well, Super Shenron is the eternal dragon who can be summoned when you assemble the Super Dragon Balls. And unlike Shenron, Super Shenron apparently has no limits to the wishes that it can grant. It can theoretically grant power to rule over gods. It can kill gods of destruction. It can erase entire universes or return and recreate entire universes. Even Zeno has said that Super Shenron can do anything and grant anything. So yeah, definitely one of the most powerful dragons in all existence. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.